tonight's call. Tonight's call is going to be really, really epic. So I want to let you guys just really get into the space of listening right now and really actively taking notes. Eliminate all distractions, whether that's closing your doors, turning your phones off, whatever it is. Just really, really get present to this call tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself really quick. I'm Kara from Ohio. I've been in the business for about 15 months now. My story is a little unique in the sense that I got started on products and the business at the exact same time. So I was really active in the gym, but I was not getting the results that I should have been for the time I was putting in. And I was also freshly out of college and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, but I knew it wasn't a 9 to 5. So I had been following my coach for some time on Instagram, and I really just saw the time and financial freedom that she was having from literally working on her couch or wherever it was. So I was immediately attracted to that, reached out to her and got started on both at the exact same time. Fast forward 15 months now, I've been doing it ever since, and it actually led up to me being a co-owner of Akron Nutrition. We just had our opening day yesterday, so super, super exciting, and that's going to kind of lead me into tonight's call. So last night we had our Success Saturday, and we really put a heavy emphasis on nutrition clubs and how we can help people grow their business from behind bars. So if you were at the training last night, go ahead and shoot a 1 in the chat really quick and really, really give it up for yourselves, because we had a lot of other places that we could have been on a Saturday night, but we chose to be there and we chose to grow. So
it's off.
That also kind of just brings up the point of it's really, really important to be in person at these events, because the energy and the focus and the show up and everything is so much different when you're in the room with these people and you're actively taking notes, you're actively listening. Show up is so much different versus being on Zoom or not being there at all. Yes, if you absolutely cannot make the event, if you're literally like in labor giving birth to a child or something, yes, of course, be on Zoom, but we really don't want to make Zoom a backfall. We really, really, really want to put an emphasis on being in person at these events. So kind of want to get into our takeaways now from the event last night. So if you were at the event last night, we really want to hear from you. We really, really, really want to hear just kind of, let's keep it really short, so about 30 seconds to a minute long of just your biggest takeaway. Let's just do one big takeaway, and we're going to go ahead and popcorn people. So let's just go ahead and start that right now. I'm going to go ahead and start by popcorning. Let's popcorn Brittany.
Hey, what's up, Kara? Good job, girl. So biggest takeaway from last night was duplication and standards. And duplication for me, the takeaway was actually physically seeing the duplication. So Mary Kate and Jared shared so powerfully last night, and it was things that we had gone over and that we had talked about and that we had had calls until like midnight going over things, and to see them actually duplicating everything that everybody's done in the Cleveland and Michigan area all over, and just really wanting to do that within a different area too was so special to see last night. And then it also just spoke to standards. And so something that really let me know that we're all on the right path was, for example, for all the new clubs that are opening now, if tea drop-offs become just the norm and just the standard when somebody first opens, then they don't know any better. So the brand new people working out of Youngstown Nutrition only know that every single day they do a tea drop-off on the bar. So if you're a brand new club, for me, it's like that's a standard right off the rip, because you don't got to teach anybody anything new. It's just what it is. And so as we keep opening now clubs, in a few months we'll be doing whatever it is that we come up with next to implement. So really special to like physically see all of that coming into real life. And I will popcorn Kayla.
Hey, so shifts after being at my first event. So really, like, I don't feel like I've ever been this motivated in my life before. Like, my soul is on fire for
Kayla.
I didn't know, like,
Kayla. Sorry, girl. I just want to help you really quick before you get deep into your takeaway. I know Mary Kate called you and prepped you, so I just this part where you speak, you're gonna speak on your biggest takeaway, and then later we're gonna get to hear you actually speak a little bit more in depth. So I just don't want you to give away all the nuggets right now. I want you to give your most powerful biggest takeaway, and then later when you actually have more time, a section you can dive in deeper, just because I heard you say shifts and I knew that that's connected to what you're going to speak about. So sorry about that, you guys. This is a little teaching coaching point we're really working on new leadership, and there's so many new people stepping up into leadership. So Kayla's getting ready to let it rip, and then we're going to hear from her again later, which is super powerful. So go ahead, Kayla, for your takeaway for the event.
Okay, so my biggest takeaway was I didn't know my why before I went to the event, and I really just like listened to everybody, and I figured out like my why, and that's just to make my family proud. So that's it. And then do I just popcorn or give it to somebody else?
You got it. Yeah, you'll just pick somebody else.
Okay, popcorn to Miguel.
Okay, so my biggest takeaway from the event yesterday was just like Brittany said, duplication. Just to have all the clubs in line with doing the same thing, like going over the slips the same way, especially when it's busy, going through the slips line by line, and instead of sitting there and saying, like, whose Instagram did you follow and things like that, just say like, all right, we're gonna have you fill out this part of the card and how you heard about us, and then you go through line by line and say, you know, if you have any questions, my name is Miguel. This is Golden. We'll be with you if you have anything. And just like a lot of people weren't explaining the beauty booster until we really knew like how to explain it so that everybody would like get the most out of it. So that's what I took away from yesterday. I will popcorn Jacob.
What's up, you guys? So my biggest takeaway from yesterday, I think it was really like inspiring to hear Jay talk and everything. And I basically like knowing the market plan and know what you want. So I think that's really important that like you need to know what you want going into this. Like obviously we all see Jay and see like what he's doing and what he's creating, but we need to know if we want to be like him, how do we become that? How do we get to what he did? So I think honestly that was my biggest takeaway is knowing the marketing plan. That's something definitely I get to, brush up on and know what you want or you're not going to get it. I am going to popcorn Jared.
What's going on, guys? I think that the biggest thing that I really took away yesterday was when Jay literally said, go produce. Literally, no matter what you're doing, no matter what your goals are, no matter what you want out of this business, it can all be made up by literally going to work every day and just getting stuff done. So when he literally just said the words go produce, go be fruitful, all those things that he was saying, it was like, we're all going to have those times where we're tired. We don't want to get up. We don't want to do this. We don't want to make that call, make that follow up. Like, just go to work. You're going to be moving in the right direction and it's going to get done. So that was something that was really simple and basic, but that was like so powerful to me. And I am going to popcorn Mary Kate.
All right, what's up, you guys? So my biggest takeaway was when Jay said, let the momentum build so the energy keeps going. And that was kind of like about, like the other day, Jared and I had a day off and we're like, wait, we're tired. And Jay said like the same thing. We're like, we don't have any, we feel like there's no energy because we're used to being in the club 14 hours a day. So it was just really cool to hear that and know that even when you have your off days, you get to, do your workout, have your shakes and teas, do your follow-ups, reach out to new, be consistent on social media, because when that momentum builds, like he said, the energy just keeps going. And then I am going to popcorn Lillian.
Hi, you guys. Sorry, I'm in the car. But I think one of my biggest takeaways yesterday was, how like you and Jared were talking about like the standards and how it's like they don't know anything other than to do 2 tea drops like a day. And with Ridgeville opening in the next couple of months, that is something that I really like want to incorporate in the club and just like in general, because that like we will make sure that we're like growing constantly. Right now with Karma, I've gotten to experience the fact that like our numbers were getting a little low, and we're like, okay, let's like work harder. And we literally went to work, and our T drops have literally increased our number of new like constantly, and our numbers are back up, and like they're gonna keep growing. So I think that was really, really good. That was one of my biggest takeaways. And popcorn, let's see.
Hey guys, really quick, guys. Let's go ahead and be really conscious of our time too when we do our shares. Let's try to keep it to a minimum of about 30 seconds, just to be really conscious of everyone else's time and make sure that everyone else gets to share. Yeah, go ahead and popcorn now.
Amber.
Hey guys. So my biggest takeaway from yesterday was that more contribution leads to more leadership, which leads to more growth. And not only in the club, but literally everything you do. So are you leaving things better than you found them? If not, like, get to it, because it's just going to come back to you in every aspect of your life. That's what I got. And next, oh wait, let me see who was there actually. Sorry, 1 second. Lindley.
So your takeaway was fire. One thing that I really wanted to just mention here is based off of, or I'm sorry, what my takeaway is based off of something that Brittany said, and then building on that. And she spoke about setting standards. So building on that is accountability, and understanding that you get to hold yourself accountable to those standards that you're holding everybody else accountable to. And then adding on to that, something that also Jay had touched on is about it's on me. So that accountability not only goes for, you know, what's in the club or whatever it is that you want to see, but at the end of the day, like if you focus, hey, this is on me, like this is what I get to do and who I get to show up as so that we can get these results, then ultimately you're going to be the one that's holding yourself accountable and showing the consistency and allowing everybody else around you to rise up to the same level. And I'm going to popcorn Mariana.
Sorry, did you say my name, Lily?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't hear. I had my Nana was in my ear. So my biggest takeaway from yesterday's training was kind of going off what you said, basically that it's on me. So Jay really spoke on, so what if the leadership wasn't here? What if he wasn't here? What if Caitlin wasn't here? What if Golden wasn't here? How would our organization run? And that really stuck with me because, you know, I see myself as a lot of us do, like going beyond, having nutrition clubs and being pres and all this good stuff. And how would I run my organization if the leaders that are here now weren't here? So I get to hold and become that person. So that really, raised my standards and my intentions. So I'm going to popcorn Hooter.
What's going on, guys? The biggest thing for me that I took away yesterday was everything you do as a person is magnified when you own a club. So basically what I put in perspective also that I took notes on was like how you operate with everything in the club will reflect in your life. So that's something that I kind of wanted to be more present into, because obviously like owning a club, like, and being somebody like a role model or something out and outside of the club, like everything that I do is reflected from in the club. It's going to be magnified. So just be more conscious of that. For me, is my biggest takeaway. And I'm a popcorn. But Adrian, he wants picked.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So my biggest takeaway really was Jay hit on this, and it hit me. He said, become the person the business will match you. So with that being said, are you doing your PD every morning like you say you are? Are you applying the notes? Are you going to events? Are you on the calls? Are you in the chats? Are you doing all the things that our leadership has set up for us to be powerful and run powerful businesses? Like, we know this is proven to work with the leaders that we have in this organization. So it's like, are we all doing those things and plugging into those funnels to run the businesses that we say we want? You know what I'm saying? Like Jay said, you can get anything you want out of this, whether it's an extra $500 or change your family's life. So that's really what hit me. I'm going to go ahead and popcorn Kiara. Oh no, she wasn't there. Hold up. Let me let's go with Aaron.
Cool. So like a little bit of my biggest takeaway that Jay hit on the SUP school. It's about like, are you being the person or are you pretending to be the person? Meaning like, what are your intentions when you show up, and what your show up like? Like, are you adding value to the group, or are you showing up to take away? And are you doing something for attention? Like anything that you do, is it for attention, or is it to contribute to the people around you to help other people go next level and grow? So really just getting clear with that, and just implementing that a little bit more, because sometimes I know I can do a little bit more to add to the group. So really just diving a little, even if it's just extra 10 minutes in the PD or extra 10 minutes on my story, like whatever that looks like, to help add value to like the team, the board, like just wanting to do above and beyond. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and popcorn Lindley. She already went.
Yeah, I already went.
Go ahead, Chase.
All right, what's up, you guys? Yeah, my biggest takeaway was that you never know who that next person can be. You never know who, when you're doing your tea drop off, what that could do for someone or what they could lead you to. And that was really powerful to me, because that means you get to show up a certain way when you're doing tea drop offs, or you're talking to somebody about the products of the nutrition club, because you never know what that can bring to you. And also that training we had, that was fire, because one, that got me uncomfortable. Like when I didn't know if I was gonna get picked on or whatever, but like it made me uncomfortable. And I also love the fact that we broke up into different groups, and we got to hear people from different clubs go over the first timer sheet in their own certain way. And then one of the biggest things was that, you know, you can have your own flow, so you don't have to focus on how someone else says it. You can kind of tweak it your own way. And to keep it short, one of the biggest things too was that how you can tweak the first timer sheet to where you're not saying certain things. You know, I'm not gonna go in detail, but you guys know what I'm talking about, like with the lift offs and with the beauty boosters, how you can enhance certain things. But that's all I'm gonna say, so I'm not rambling on. I'm gonna popcorn. Who's on here? Deasia, let's hear it, girl. Oh, my bad. Okay.
I was on Zoom.
Courtney Shoddy, let's hear it.
Hi guys. My biggest takeaway was definitely when Steven like spoke on, well, all of us did, about like being so confident in the products to where if someone like asks you a question that you know how to answer it, and that they watch you and they see that you're confident versus like you not knowing the answer to something. And definitely getting like so detailed about like the caffeine amounts and the sugar amounts and stuff like that, especially like operating out of the club. That's something that's really important to know and be confident in. And I will popcorn. Lexus.
Can you guys hear me? Hey guys, so we are getting on everyone else's like get to suit calls. I didn't know if you were calling on me. I know there's another Alexa.
You're kind of
Hey,
cut
Court,
If you want to go ahead and
Yeah.
pass
Sorry, I didn't know there was more than one. Let's just go with Lexus Smith.
Lexus, I think me. But you can go if you want.
Lex, are you driving, babe? You're kind of breaking up. And Alexis isn't going to share. She's just on listening. So, Lex, that'll be your share. But if you don't have service, then we can go ahead and have Deja go. And then Deja can try to call on Lexus if you're in a better area with service. So go ahead, Deja.
What up, guys? Can you guys hear me? So my biggest takeaway was what Ray said, just hitting on like shortening your learning time by like being around everything and being like contributing and going early and like staying after and like doing as much as you can to like actually shorten your learning time and just being the person. When you're at the shop and you have downtime, like taking notes, doing some PD, applying any affirmations and gratitude you can do, like just really becoming the person and like shortening your learning time by being around higher level conversations. Getting to SUP school, things like that is really gonna help you. So I'm gonna popcorn Taylor.
Hi. So something that really stuck out to me for the Get to Soup, and this is a daily reminder for me, is like in Herbalife, wherever you are as a person, like your business is gonna match you, like whoever you're showing up as. And it's like if I wasn't showing up every day, like the results were gonna show. Jacob wouldn't be in my business, Carissa wouldn't be in my business, like Kate wouldn't be in my business. So it's just like really being conscious, like one, hey, how are you showing up? And two, how can you step more into your leadership skills? And really, I just feed my team the same belief. Like, even if the results aren't showing, just keep believing in it because it's going to show for you. That was my biggest takeaway. And then I'm going to popcorn. Let me see. I'm sorry, who hasn't gone? If you can post a 1 in the chat. Can you guys hear me? Okay, Carter.
Hi guys. So I think my biggest takeaway is like again duplication because I've never known how to explain the bottom box at the end of the first timer sheet. So it was nice to hear from the people that literally made the first timer sheets explain how they intended that to be said. So yeah. And I am going to bump to Alex.
What I would say is how this is a business and opportunity of multiple streams. So you get to pick what's better for you, or you can go into everything. It's just based on you and what you decide to go into. And I would like to bump Melissa.
Hey there. I was going to say the same thing pretty much as Alex, just kind of excited this week we're going to be getting into the club and learning the business a little bit more from that aspect. So just plugging into multiple streams, you know, doing what you're doing as a distributor, seeing clients, but also learning different ways of the business and learning the numbers and things like that. So I'm kind of excited to get in the club, and it was nice to get a little bit of a practice in the groups of learning how to talk to customers. So just knowing the products, learning them how to talk to customers, how to be presentable. Popcorn. What else did we go?
If you haven't shared yet, just go ahead and hop on real quick.
Yeah, maybe hop on.
Jenna, you can go ahead and go.
So my takeaway, my biggest takeaway would be that we all have different things that maybe we're here for, and we all have different whys. But at the end of the day, you have to declare what you want and why you're here, because if you don't, you're not going to get it. Jay really put it into perspective when he talked about, like, as a kid asking Santa for what you want. Like, if you're like, oh, I don't know, probably going to get like whatever, right? But if you're like, this is what I want, and you're telling your mom, your dad, Santa, whoever, like, that's what you're going to get. So declare what you want and go for it, because if you don't know why you're here and what you want, you're not going to get it. So, and then I will pick Rachel.
So my biggest takeaway was, if you aren't seeing results in your business, then you're not staying consistent enough to see the result in your business. And I know for me personally, I can identify somewhere where I haven't been consistent, and for me that's social media. So the reason why I took that away so to heart is because I know that I can do more, and I know that I can do better. So I am going to popcorn golden.
Thanks, Rachel. So my biggest takeaway actually was hearing how interactive everybody was and hearing our takeaways while we're actually at the event. It kind of made me realize how many leaders we actually have and how well you guys actually know your stuff. It's coming to the point where a majority of us have either we're brand new or we've been around the business for a year plus. And so a lot of the stuff is starting to really sink into your mind and your show up, and just really sitting back and looking at the room and seeing how many of you guys are in the room and how many of them are in the organization, like our team specifically, and how many of them have been consistently showing up to events, on event, and what it's really creating inside of them, which is going to create kind of like a combustion. So it's like you're going to these events, you're learning all this stuff. It's just going to get to a point where it's going to start to like literally erupt out of you and get on so many other people to really just show them like, wow, this person is being so consistent. And then as well inside of the organization, there's so many roles of leadership roles that we need right now that we're like, literally like the whole organization, like tab team up or like, man, we need leaders, we need new leaders, we need new leaders. But we have them right here in our specific organization. And I'm so grateful for that. And to watch how these roles just start to get filled and how new leaders then step up, because there are more leaders to follow and more people to relate to, and where they could say, wow, if this person can do this and they were at that point when I started, then I can do that too. Because it's starting to get to a point where a few of the leaders have been in the business for like maybe 3 to 4 years. And so all you know is them in success. But to see some of you new leaders start to step up to where other people on the team look at you and they're like, wow, I started the same time this person started and look where they're at now. Why? It's because of the habits. It's because of the things that they're doing over and over again. So just really recognizing you guys for all of the stuff you're taking on and how you're actually stepping into the things that you're hearing at event on top of event. And so that's my biggest takeaway. And so I'm really excited to see you guys continue to step into that and to see where it takes you, where it takes your organization and your business specifically. And I am going to popcorn. If you haven't went yet, please put a 1 in the chat. Jody.
So my biggest takeaway from yesterday was being consistent and confident. So being consistent, like on your story every day, like showing that you're taking the shake and teas, that you're going to all these events and stuff like that will create like people that are continuously watching you and they're just like, wow, what is she doing? I want to get to do that as well. And just like within the club, being consistent with like, having that energy when people come in, having that vibe, making sure the shakes always taste the same, and then having the confidence in yourself as well and the club, so that like they can come in and have confidence in the product, in the nutrition clubs, and your energy and stuff like that. So I'm going to popcorn. Vaughn.
How you guys doing? My biggest takeaway was going what Jacob said, going to the market plan and knowing what you want. And me personally, you guys, like, I'm just being honest. I'm tired of being that world team, and it's like I did like some thinking earlier. Like I signed up 6 distributors, right? I signed up 6 distributors. I got 4 people out of the 6 who really don't show up, and that's as I plant the seeds, they never really show up. And now I got 2 distributors who really taking the business serious, and that's like a good feeling. And it's not about me no more. And when you find out it's not about you no more, your business will grow. Like your business will really fly when you find out, when you really come to the light, it's not about you anymore. And like usually, like in the middle of the month, I'll be at 5,000 or 6,000 volume points. So right now I'm sitting at 2,000. But guess what? I'm happy because I got 2 distributors who went to their first nutrition club yesterday, and they was really excited about going, and they were just taking notes. And by me just seeing them taking notes, I feel like I just hit press team. Like I feel like I just hit 20,000 volume points. Like it's the best feeling in the world. When I watch Aaron, how he got 9 distributors. When I watch Huda, how he got a good team. How I look at Ray and Golden, how they get a good team. I'm like, wow, I want that. So who you are is who you're going to attract the people. So I'm just learning, like exactly what Jason Jacob said, going to the market plan, knowing what you want. And me personally, I want a team, and I'm just I'm just grateful to have for the shoulder right now on this phone call, because now I feel like my business is moving forward, and I'm just happy right now. So for the first time ever, I finally up the show on this call, and I'm going to pop Orange Jennifer.
Hi everyone. So my biggest takeaway yesterday, since it was like my first event, it was that I knew I had a purpose in life, and I knew that, you know, working at 8 to 5 was not for me. And hearing all of those stories and hearing that other people think just as me, and it is possible to do something else with your life, and that you can go as far as you can and as far as you want to go in life. It was just amazing to hear all of those stories and hear a little bit about, you know, Jay's story and marketing plan. So thank you. And I'm gonna popcorn Kiara.
Sorry, really quick, guys. Sorry, I'm like eating right now. If anyone has not gone yet, please just go ahead and pop off share.
I'm gonna go real quick. So a lot of the takeaways I had that I thought were really good, everybody already said. But one thing that I thought was good was everybody I come in contact with knows a couple hundred people that I don't know. So that was something big that stuck with me, because you might say you get somebody that tries a shaken tea, but they don't really like it. But I guarantee you that they know somebody that could really use the products. Like, there's so many people out there that are overweight that are literally, like Jay says it all the time, like there's people out there is praying for this opportunity that really want to lose a weight and they don't know how to go about it. And I can relate to that because I used to be in that in those same shoes. Like, I wanted to lose the weight so bad, and I was working out, and then nothing was working until I got my nutrition on point, until, you know, I had an understanding of the nutrition aspect. Because you could kill yourself in the gym, but if you're not putting the right stuff in your body, like, you're not going to get the results that you want. So that was my takeaway. Anybody else that wants to go that hasn't gone, hop off.
That was exactly my takeaway too, Sam. So thanks.
Hi, team. Oh.
Go ahead and share real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and move on from popcorn.
I was going to say that my biggest takeaway was that my actions need to match my words, and what I say needs to match what I want. And I've really gotten present to that, especially as I'm working to convert a client into a distributor in the next couple of days, really getting solid on that and being there and showing her exactly what she's going to need to do to be successful with this opportunity.
All right, super, super, super good, you guys. You guys all had amazing takeaways, and I really loved how not a single one of us had the exact same takeaway. That means there was so much information and nuggets and everything dropped yesterday that we all got to take a different piece away from the training last night. So I'm going to go ahead now. We're going to move on to the next section. My girl Rachel is actually going to go ahead and give us some more of the good deets. Go ahead, Rachel.
Thanks, Kara. So the event that we had yesterday, the Nutrition Club workshop, it was for a reason. And a big thing that our team is up to is, you know, opening nutrition clubs, working on nutrition clubs. And I just want to let all of you know that even people who are not owners or operators of a nutrition club, you can utilize the clubs around you to really help your business. And what's amazing about how fast we're growing is that there's pretty much a nutrition club in any area that you're going to find yourself in. So really understand where there's a nutrition club nearby and help utilize that for your business. So certain ways you can utilize a nutrition club for your business is by posting whenever you're there on your social media. And it's not just Instagram. If you have Facebook, posts on there, Twitter, Snapchat, all of those things. So things that you can put on your social media, you can video yourself walking through the door and showing your followers how the operators working behind the bar are greeting you, because it's a part of our culture that whoever's working behind the bar, whoever walks in the door, no matter who it is, we always are super excited to see them and say hi in a very ecstatic way. And that helps people really feel welcome. So if someone has never been in the club before, but they're watching your story, they can really understand like, wow, there's so much energy in the club. Let me be around that. Another thing that you can do is post how awesome your shakes and your teas look. Say if the bar is full, if the club is busy, you can video that, because the whole purpose is to make the club look like an attractive place to be, so that whenever you're talking to friends or whatever the case may be, maybe it's a new potential client who is a little bit hesitant to get started because they don't know if it tastes good or not, that's really going to help plant the seeds for them to help them want to come into the club either on their own or if you invite them. So that brings me to my next point. So I know a lot of us say we haven't seen a friend in a while and we say, hey, let's hang out, let's catch up. Instead of choosing a place like Starbucks or a place to go out to eat, I don't know, say Panera or Yard House or whatever, invite them to the nutrition club. Say, hey, let's grab a shake and a tea, and make it a very familiar place for them and a very casual place for them, so they can know that, you know, that's a place to go out to eat too, because the shakes are a healthy meal replacement. And while you're there, you know, if you want to bring up the products, you can, but it's really just to help them feel the vibe of the club and to be able to taste the products. And then also, whatever event we're having. So say it's Train Tuesday, which I know that West Park holds every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Free hit workout for everyone who's willing to go. You can invite them to that. If you are at that event, share that you're there, share the workouts on your social media, and just to, again, show them how hyped they are and how awesome they are. And then other things like Project Clee, even like small boomerangs of the STS and all of those things, just to help familiarize your followers that the nutrition club is where it's at. So now I want to call on quite a few people to kind of share their experience, how utilizing the nutrition clubs, even not as operators, but how it has helped their business. So Miguel, if you can let us know how being a product of the product has really helped you build your business while you're at the club.
Okay, so as we all know, this is a results-driven business. So being a product of the product is huge in that aspect because it attracts new clients, it attracts new distributors, it attracts people in general. Posting that on IG consistently will not only like show people your journey, but it will attract them to want to be a part of it. It brings people to the clubs also when you're showing your journey and then you post that you're at the club and you check in and you tag the location. And then when they come into the club, they're going to see you. And a lot of the time I'll get people that say like, oh, you use this? What do you use? I want what you use. And I'll say, well, you could start with I've had people that I wanted to start with a basic plan. They're like, no, I want to look like you. Tell me what you do. And then before you know it, like they want to get products right then and there. And it's all about being like a walking example of everything you say. Like if you're not using the products, but you're trying to sign someone up and use the products, or they don't believe that you use them because you're not getting new results like every so often, then they're not going to buy into everything you're saying. They're not going to follow you. They're not going to want to do the things that you're setting them up to do.
Perfect. That's awesome, Miguel. So, you know, while you're at the club, you know, people do recognize your results and they ask you what you're doing, but understand too that, you know, that can happen anywhere you're at. You know, it can happen at the grocery store, wherever you are. As long as you are a walking example of the products, like how Miguel said, people are going to be asking you what you're doing and they're going to want to get started. Next, I want to call on Kayla. If you can explain to us a little bit about how you utilize tea drop-offs and also the mindset shift that happened for you after your first event.
Okay, so first I'm gonna start with the shifts for after being at my first event. So this business, like I just really realized like it's much bigger than myself, and like being around that environment and all those cool people, like you just realize like how fun it can actually be, and you can make your business fun and like make you like it's really like you love it. And I don't feel like I've ever been this motivated in my life before. Like my soul's on fire for like what is to come in my future, and like it instantly made me want to share this opportunity with everyone I love. Like I've thought of so many people I can bring to the next event and share this with. And then also for speaking as a brand new distributor and utilizing the tea drop-offs, just as like Brittany and MK and Jared have said, at Youngstown Nutrition, like they told us that it's like an expectation. So for every shift, we send a picture of our tea drop-off, and that's all we know. So, and then also like people come in the club and we're like, hey, how'd you hear about us? And they say, you guys came to my work and like it made my day. I got a tea and I felt so good and I'm so excited. And then they bring in people and it just gets you more people in and more people. And yeah, it's just really awesome. And yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Kayla. So for those of you who don't work behind the bar, you are still able to utilize tea drop-offs. So what I would encourage all of you to do is go into the club that's closest to you and ask the operators either how to do one or if you can help them do one, because they always say as long as you go with somebody that helps you understand exactly how to do it. And I think the more you do the tea drop-offs, the more you're going to be rewarded in your business as well. So next, I want to call on Jacob. Super awesome. Can you tell us about how utilizing the club has helped with your retail volume?
Yes, Rachel, thank you. So from the start, when I first signed up to become a distributor and everything, when I first joined the business, Taylor literally engraved in my brain, do not rely on the club. You cannot rely on the club for all of your retail, for everything that you want. You need to retail your way there. So starting with your 100 persons list, reaching out to all of those people and getting everything you need from retail and not the club. So when I hit supervisor, basically before I even worked in a club, I was able to hit qualified producer. So I worked my way up hitting qualified producer without even being in the club at all. I only had 1 or 2 days behind bar that actually put me to supervisor. I remember literally it was my 13th day in, and I was literally sitting at Taylor's house, and I was like, you know, I was less than 60 like documented volume points away from hitting supervisor. And she's like, Jacob, you are going to hit it tonight. And I was like, no, like, it's okay. You know, I work the club tomorrow. I'll hit it tomorrow. And she's like, no, you are going to hit it tonight. Do what you can. She literally was like running around doing things. And I think she like hopped in the shower or something. And I reached out to a client and literally placed an order at 11:30 that night. And I was able to hit supervisor. So basically, like I said, I hit supervisor with only being in the club 1 to 2 days. And it wasn't like, you know, we were doing 300 shakes a day or whatever. You know, it was maybe a few slips. So it's really important to just retail your way there and not realize, oh, I'm going to get, you know, my volume from the club. I'm going to get all my, you know, profit from the club. Yes, you can, you know, it's a huge help to us, but definitely stick with that retail.
Right. Awesome, Jacob. And another thing too that I really like about what you said is that you made it, you made a goal to hit supervisor that day that you declared it. So being able to set goals and declaring it for yourself really opens your mind so that you are able to achieve it. So for those of you who are not supervisors yet, make that your goal to hit it this month, because you all can do it and we all believe in you. So next, I want to call on Jadi. Please tell us about how important it is to build relationships in the club and what your conversations with people in the club look like.
Awesome. So, well, I wasn't like always in the club. I just recently started being in the club. So like before that, I would just be building like my relationships like off Instagram, inviting them into the club, having them try the shake and tea and stuff like that. But now that I'm in the club, I'm a gold member and I'm able to get clients off bar. I kind of just, there's a lot of clients that like come in like constantly. So I will always like remember what we talked about before, like having those conversations, and also like remembering their name, remember like what they did last week and whatever you guys were talking about, and then also like following up with them like oh, how did you like if they tried something new in the club, how did you like that product, and just really being intentional with your conversations. Like I literally set intentions before each of my shift. Like I'm going to have this many intentional conversations. I'm going to talk to this person about this because I know they're going to come in and that type of stuff, and just really being ready and being open to having all of those conversations all the time.
Good. And what I liked about what you said too is that you set the intention to build that relationship. So a lot of us who are not in the club, we don't have customers coming in every single day that we're starting to recognize, but what we do have are people that we see consistently that we follow on our social media, and also our friends, our family, or whatever the case may be. So really creating that intention to build a relationship with them, so that when we do decide that it's time that we want to start to get them on a meal plan, help them join a challenge, or maybe even offer them the business opportunity, we've already created that space where we have that relationship, we've built that trust, so it doesn't seem like it's coming out of nowhere. Kara, can you talk to us about how important it is to walk into a nutrition club and have that mentality as if you are the owner?
Yes. So now that I am the owner of a club, I'm the owner of Akron, co-owner of Akron, it's kind of like my show up is as soon as somebody walks in the door, how quickly can I greet them and how friendly can I be? The second I get downtime, it's like, okay, how can I go clean up right now? What can I straighten up? What can I fill? What can I do? Who can my next tea drop off be? What businesses in the area would really, love having these teas, just little things like that, really showing up as the best person and wanting that for other people. We actually don't have anyone else behind bar yet besides the owners, but we had the talk that once we do get people on, we really want them to have these same exact standards, and we want them to show up as if they are the owner themselves. So that's just kind of the mentality, I guess it is, by being an owner and showing up like that.
Awesome. And a lot of us can really take that on, because even though we're not owners of a nutrition club or operators, we do go into nutrition clubs from time to time. And whenever we do, we really need to hold that mindset of, I own this club. How do I want it to be? I want the customers to be happy. I want them to have a good experience. I want it to be clean, and also look and see if the operators behind the bar are super busy. How can I help them? How can I contribute? And any of us, we empower you that if you can help, wash some dishes and wash some dishes. If you see something on the counter, wipe it up. I mean, honestly, it's all our club, because the clubs represent not only us, but our entire team and organization. So with that, we are actually going to transition to a different topic on this call. So this wonderful lady has really taken advantage of plugging into every single one of our resources that we're able to take advantage of within our business. So Brittany.
Got you, girl. Thank you. So really there's a flow within whether you're in the club or whether you're not in the club. There's some type of way that you get to bridge the gap between people coming in and trying products or seeing your Instagram and watching what you're up to. There needs to be somewhere that you bridge the gap of them becoming clients to potentially like joining the business opportunity. And that's how you really grow your team. And so for me, what I've learned is the biggest, the fastest, the quickest way to bridge the gap with the most amount of people is by letting the team show anybody that I can connect with what it is that we have to offer. And so that's why I use events probably like as my quickest way to grow, to get clients, to grow the team. And the way that I'm inviting people can be whether you're on bar that speaks to you, whether you're somebody that utilizes the club that's not like working out of the club yet, whether you're somebody that utilizes Hustle and Heart, face-to-face invites, social media, whatever it is, all you get to do is get them in a seat at an event and let everybody else do the talking, because Golden Story might relate to somebody that you invite better than yours, or Ray's story might relate or really touch somebody in a way where they're like, yeah, this is for me, like I see myself in him. And so for me, the easiest way that I found to invite somebody to an event was just figure out a little bit about who they were. And so we go over personalities and stuff at higher level trainings at a lot of the events. And at those events, we learn there's a bunch of different personality types. And so for me, I loved that. And I took that on and I was like, okay, if I meet somebody that wants to know all the little details, what way can I make this event most attractive for them? I'm not going to let them know that J. Cole's like newest song is going to be bumping on the radio and sometimes the ice cream lady gets mad because our music's too loud. I'm going to tell them that they're going to get all the details about all the products, every single little thing about what they need to know. Bring a notebook, sit down, you're going to get everything. If I meet somebody like Golden, who's a sapphire, and I know she's gonna be twerking as soon as she walks in, I'm gonna let her know, like, hey, did you hear Drake's latest song? They're gonna play that unedited, and the speakers are like super dope. Everybody dances, like whatever it is, right? Like make it fun, and obviously let them know they're coming to get some value, but gear it towards whoever they are. So if it's somebody interested in products, let them know they're gonna try a shake and a tea. They're going to hear about the products. If it's somebody interested in the business, let them know that they're going to meet people making X amount of money, whatever you think can be relatable for them, and that they're going to sit down and learn how to join the business if they so choose. If there's somebody that wants to meet friends like Mary Kate and Jared, let them know that you're going to meet some of your business partners and everybody's going out to eat later. How about you come sit through this meeting with me and then we're going to go grab some food. And now that turned into an almost, like a whole entire organization, right? Like they're about to be Active World Get 2.5 because they loved the vision so much, and all it took was inviting them to come meet a few people in Cleveland because they wanted to make some new friends. So you never know who it is that you're going to meet and how somebody else is going to bridge the gap for you. But a lot of us say, like, it's not about me, it's not about me, it's not about me. It's really not about you. So get the people around to the people that are going to touch the people that you're meeting, because that's what this is. It's all networking. So utilizing that, and it doesn't have to just be like Project CLEs. It can be anything. It can be getting them on a call like this, the Hustle and Heart Next Steps call, Project CLE, like an event like last night, anything like that. So getting them to the events, it really speeds up the process a lot.
Okay, and then Lindley, can you talk about how relationships and consistency helps you in your business when you're working with that person?
Hey guys, yeah, and my point really is going to bounce off of what Brittany just said, and building relationships and building new relationships and maintaining the current relationships you have is also what's going to get them to those events. And building and keeping those relationships revolves a lot around consistency, and that's not just consistency in who you are and who you're showing up as, but also consistency with your products, consistently getting a new result, consistently sliding up on their story, showing them, hey, I'm watching you. Because even if you reach out to them, you continue to talk to them, they show interest in maybe what it is that you're doing, and then ultimately say, hey, maybe this isn't really for me, they're going to consistently watch what you're doing. And then ultimately they're going to show up and be like, okay, I see what you're up to. Now I'm catching the vision. Now you've continued to talk to me. You've continued to show me that even after I said I really wasn't interested, you continue to talk to me and build that relationship, because this wasn't just, skin deep. It was really like you actually care about me. And now I'm interested in what it is that you're doing. So continuing to build those relationships, using those different tools to start new relationships and continuing to be consistent in who you are and with the products is definitely something that has really helped to boost my business personally. I had one of a really close friend to me at the Nutrition Club training yesterday, and that was not only because of my consistency in who I am in our relationship, but also her seeing my consistency with the organization, with continuing to work my butt off and continuing to get a new result and helping more people. And they're going to watch and they're going to want to do the exact same thing.
Right. Love that, Lindley. And what's awesome too is, for those of you who are newer in the business and you're trying to build, get your first few clients or whatever that looks like, if someone says no, don't feel discouraged, because it's not no, it's not yet. And that's where the consistency comes in, because we get to continue being on this journey ourselves, getting our results and building our business, attending the events, hopefully, qualifying for vacations and all those things and moving up the margin plan. And as long as we're sharing that consistency, then whoever said no earlier in the business, then eventually they're going to want to jump on board. So Mariana, Queen of PMs, can you please explain to us what the language looks like for you and how important it is to create multiple preferred members?
All right. Thank you so much. So what preferred members looks like for me, the conversation wise, is that first of all, I started as a preferred member right off the get. Golden as my sponsor. I joined Hustle and Heart, and she strictly said, you know, this is how you get to get on products, because she was in a space of really going wide and expanding her team. So I utilize that as far as like when I hit supervisor, I try to hit it as quickly as possible my first month of business. And that's one thing I really want to make emphasis is that don't get, you know, all of a sudden into the business as a new distributor and be like, okay, I got to start PMing, I got to start getting preferred members, because as we all know, as a distributor, excuse me, you'll hear Natalia in the background, you start off at 25%. And you know that preferred members, they start off with 20. So there's not really a big gap there as far as like a profit. And also when you hit supervisor, and that goes up to 50, which we all love. So it's a bigger gap as far as gaining more of a profit. And then also it starts building your check. That we get to get on the 15th of every month that Herbalife pays us with another form of income, another way of we make income. So it really just the languaging as far as like if you have someone that's consistently being on products as a retail client and you're already a supervisor, then you get to offer them an opportunity and kind of like a thank you for being so consistent. I would love to give you 20% off, and also you get your own website, so that way it's you can order on your convenience and you don't have to always go through me. And another key for getting preferred members is that eventually when they start getting plugged in, they start seeing that you're making all this money and you're getting results and they're getting results, then those are potential distributors that want to, you know, do what you're doing. And then all of a sudden you see, you know, I got a brand new distributor this month, 2 new brand distributors 1 month, and then you see your really business grow, and then that'll be duplicatable for them to grow their business.
So good. And another thing too is I always like to use maybe like VIP membership, just because it helps the customer feel super important. And another thing too is when you PM somebody, they become your frontline. Now they're not necessarily a distributor yet, but if they decide that they want to do this business, then they do become your frontline as a distributor. So now I want Golden to close us out and tell us more about Extravaganza and your experience.
Yes, amazing call. First of all, loved hearing everybody share and speak so powerfully. Like there should be so much momentum coming off this call. So Extravaganza is coming up, you guys, 11 days away. 11 days. That's so awesome. I know so many of you joined the business either right at Extravaganza last year or like right after it. And it's like you've been waiting a whole year to be able to go. And I cannot wait for you guys to see what is it about. Extravaganza, first of all, it's our biggest event, period. Like it is the Oscars, the Grammys, they give awards, press team members, 60 new press team members, all in one arena, you guys. And I know you hear all the time, they say, don't miss the events. Make sure you attend the events, because the events propel your business 6 months. Listen, if you have the opportunity and somebody's telling you to go to Extravaganza, go to Extravaganza, because when you go, you're able to then see it for yourself, because you have somebody telling you to go to Extravaganza who's been there and seen it. And it's like, you're like, why are they telling me to go? Like, that's probably what you're thinking in the back of your mind. Like, trust me, I actually thought about that before I was in that position. But we went because we got plugged into the system. We started doing all the things, going to events, being on the calls. And when it came to Extravaganza, it was the exact same thing. It wasn't, oh, because this is far, I'm not going to go. Oh, because the ticket's a little bit more than the STS ticket, I'm not going to go. It was more so like, wow, this event, to think if I paid $20 for my Success Saturday ticket, and everything that I was able to get there and what it did for my business. And now I'm getting the opportunity to go to this type of event, like this scale of an event, and learn, and everybody's saying it's going to help my business. Go to Extravaganza. It's not because people just say it. Like your sponsor, the person who signed you up, is not telling you to go to Extravaganza because they directly get something from you going. What Extravaganza is going to do for you is going to set you up to be able to build your team, to be able to have the vision to understand. And let me tell you something, if you decide to go to extravaganza right now, come a year from now when you're in this business, because there's no other opportunity like this, and if you found it already and you're able to hear about it and grasp it, when you go out into the real world and you find other opportunities, you're gonna always know that it's not like Herbalife. It's just an amazing, amazing opportunity. And so as you're on this journey and you said yes and you're committed because you're clearly on this call right now, and so you're wanting more, you're seeing the vision from others, and you're wanting to create that story for yourself. So by you committing now when things may not be like as easy or as luxurious as you may want your life to be, you are now granting the permission and holding the space for your future team to where when they hear about extravaganza and they're not ready to go to extravaganza yet, they're like, but do I remember my coach's story? Like, do I remember how they said that it was hard for them to go, but they still seen it through and they attended and what it did for their business? And just to give you guys a little bit of background, my first extravaganza, I found out that I was expecting about a week and a half before. I was sick immediately. I was throwing up constantly. I didn't leave my apartment for 5 months while I was pregnant because it was that bad. I could not even see sunlight. I couldn't keep anything down. But however, we got in the car. We went to go rent a car, actually, and our credit cards got declined, and we didn't have enough balance, and we didn't know how we were going to pay for this because you need a credit card, and we didn't have people like that around us to loan one for us. Somehow, some way, though, we did get approved. One of the girls on the team, she had a credit card. We used it. We got in the car. I was literally retailing on my way down there just so I could eat. We packed wild berry shakes. That's the only thing that I could eat. But when we got to extravaganza, you guys, it's you literally walk into the arena and you're it's like an aha moment. You're like, oh, this is not something that we're just doing here in our small little space of the earth. This is everywhere. And we're actually doing really well as a company. And this is probably one of the best companies that I could ever get paid from. And so you start to see these people walk across the stage as brand new presidency members, and you see people that look like you, and you see people who look absolutely nothing like you. And you're all around in every angle, you're I can do this because that person looks like me and their story sounds like mine and they did it. And because that person looks nothing like me and their story is nothing like mine and they did it. It's it eliminates so many levels of excuses. The energy in the room, if you don't go for anything, just go for the energy in the room, because think about thousands of positive people who want more in their life all in an arena. It is absolutely incredible, and I'm just so fired up for those of you. If you have committed already to extravaganza, go ahead and put a 100 in the chat, because it ain't just a 1. Oh, I'm hyped. Look at everybody who committed. It's so beautiful, and I'm super excited. I want you to really take it in when you go and think about the things that come up for you. Think about the things that make him come up for you in your journey in this week and a half before we head into extravaganza, because just know, because you're committing to something bigger than you, there may be something that comes up for you in your life, and just see it through and stay on the path. Remember your story, because you're going to get to share that story with other people when they come into the business and they're like, oh, XYZ just happened. I can't go to extravaganza. And you're going to be like, no, the same thing happened to me. You're going because my entire life changed after, because I was able to see the vision, and I see that I'm now a part of something so much bigger than me, but it makes me my biggest and my best self. And so just like how you guys hear all the time, they say extravaganza, never miss an event, never miss an event, never miss a call. If you know about extravaganza and you miss this event and there's only one a year, you get to wait a whole year before you get to experience the magnitude of this greatness. And so as you see people who are popping pins and bringing more people along on the journey with them, it's because they're learning tools from the events, going to all the events after events, and something just eventually clicks that, oh, there's no secret mystery to doing this. It simply is hard work and consistency and showing up to the events and becoming the person and creating the space for your team before they get here. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because we talk about the events and they're so huge and we're so privileged to have the style of events that we have here in Cleveland. And so we may be a little like new to the whole idea of going out of state or going out of town or like booking a flight to go somewhere to go learn and to better ourselves. But let me just tell you guys, it's so normal, and you're not going to be the only person. If this is your first time flying, you're not the only person. There's probably 1,000 other people whose first time it is flying. If you have to find arrangements for your kids, you're not the only person. Like, so many people. There's president's team members who still had to find arrangements for their kids because they may not have a babysitter. Like, there's people who just started yesterday who's going to have to find arrangements for their child, and they're going to do it. And the way this business is working right now, you never know where you'll see them at next year on stage. And also, last thing before I close, you guys, when you're at Extravaganza and you're sitting where you're sitting, take it in and just be very appreciative of wherever you're at. Because I remember the times of sitting up in the way high, so high bleachers. And I remember also the next day sneaking down to bronze because nobody was sitting there. And Hooter, I know you remember that. But we were just so grateful to have a great seat and to be able to see things. And I just know, I remember saying, like, we will never sit up here again. And so then the next year, me, Hooter, and Ray, which were the people who were there with us at the first event, there was more people there with us, but for us to be down on the floor the next year and to see that and to be right behind the president's team member, it shows you I can do it. Because I remember last year sitting up in the bleachers and so-and-so saying how they sat up in the bleachers and then now they're there walking the stage and they're a president's team member. It's really just about the action. So take the action, go to Extravaganza, invest in yourself, and it's going to be so much fun, and just document it all, take it all in, remember it all, and let it fuel you, and be open. Be so open to the conversations that you'll have with people. Get around people that you see have a nice size pin. If there's somebody that you're interested in meeting, get with your upline and let them know, hey, I'm interested in meeting so-and-so off of Instagram, because we'll probably be able to meet them. And just be a student always when you're there, and just take everything in. And then also, really quick, since I have everybody on the call, I know this call went over, but it's about Extravaganza, and you guys you're good. So for those of you who may not have qualified platinum or gold, I'm not sure what night it is, but the night of the platinum and gold party, you guys all seen my story. I didn't qualify gold. I thought I did. I had a mishap with one of my DAP qualifiers, and so I didn't qualify. And so I'd like to actually take the opportunity now to have all of us go out somewhere at like a restaurant or something, and that way all of us as a team can do something together and experience New Orleans together, and just, get to know each other a little bit more outside of the club, outside of a training. So that's it, and we'll have more details about that like closer to the date, but I just want to let you guys know that now before you made any other plans. I don't know what you guys are going to do in New Orleans, but I love you guys. Everybody come off mute. And let's share how much we love each other.
We love you.
Yes,
love
you. 3,000.
Bye.